Okay, this video is going to be on the Photoshop type tool. The type tool is slightly different in the 2020 version of Photoshop. However, it's not radically different from older versions. I'm going to go ahead and click on the type tool. When I click on the type tool, I do get the options for the type tool at the top in the option bar up here. First thing you're going to want to do is select the typeface that you want to use. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stick with Arial Black just because it'll show up nicely. Depending on the typeface that you've selected, you might have styles. Since I picked Arial Black, the only style associated with it is just the regular. Let me go ahead and click another one that I know has more styles. Let's see. Baskerville, for example. If I pick Baskerville, I can come up here and I've got more styles associated with it. Just for demonstration purposes, I do want to pick kind of a heavier font. Maybe I can go with Arial Narrow Bold. Okay, then after you've picked the style, then you're going to select your point size. In the drop down, I'm going to stick to 48 just because it's going to show up a little bit better in this presentation. Okay, you don't need to worry about the next section here. This is more for designing for the web. And then you've got your alignment options for the text. I'll go ahead and stick with left alignment. And here you have your color chip for your text. So make sure that you've got a color that is going to contrast well with your background. And the last icon here is actually going to launch the type or character dialog box. Go ahead and pull that up. Looks like this. You have a lot more options for text with this text box open. All right, let me close a window. All right, with the text tool selected and I've got all my options selected, there are two ways of going about this. I can click, and what Photoshop does is it adds lorem ipsum, which you can select over and you can change the text to whatever you want it to be. If you move to the Move tool, you can move that text around on its layer. If you notice that when you do add a text layer, you get a little icon for the text layer here, and you get kind of a preview of your text. Now this would be used, just the click and type would be used if you're just doing a single line or word, but if you want to do a paragraph, what you want to do with the text tool, going back to the text tool, is a click and drag. And Photoshop will add, again, the lorem ipsum type. If I go back to the text tool here, select over and I can overwrite it with new text or copy and paste text in. Once it's selected, I can change the alignment options. And I can also readjust this text box. Once it's selected, I can go in and I can change the color as well. I could use the character palette as well to change the font. Okay. In the character palette, you can also control, actually let me change the alignment right now. I'm going to make the font size a little bit smaller for here. Still got some extra type in there. Okay, once I've got the type, still got some extra type in here. All right, now I got rid of that extra type. All right, once you have your paragraph in here, you do have the point size options to change that. Over to the right here where you see the A on top of the A, I'm looking right here in the character palette. I can change the space in between the lines. I could go to auto, and then I could increase it to 48. This is also a slider, by the way. You can click on the icon and you can slide your text closer together, your text lines closer together. Now, On the second line in the character palette, you've got the V/A. That is for kerning. That is the space in between individual characters. So if I go to my type tool and I click in between the L and the O, I can use this option to increase the space between the characters that I've selected, or I could decrease it. And I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want these two letters to collide. So I'm going to go ahead and take it back to 0. You can also do all the type by coming over to the, again, the second line where you see the VA in the white box, and you can select that type and you can increase the tracking, which increases all the space in between all the letters. Or you could decrease it as well.